Unfortunately, I know people tragically who have been involved, that have been in the crosshairs, unfortunately, of these sort of lies in my life. I'm sure so many of you know about TJ Klasutis, whose wife died sadly, tragically, 20 years ago. And the left first, and then the Trump right started spreading lies about her. And her husband repeatedly begged people to stop adding to the pain of the hell they were having to go through. And TJ even wrote the President of the United States. He wouldn't stop. Then Donald Trump, he wouldn't stop. And every day, the reminder, the pain, they were just never able to mourn like parents are supposed to be able to mourn their children. And there's even a host at Fox News that continues the conspiracy theory, bringing it up whenever he can. And so that's pain for TJ. That's pain for Mr. and Mrs. Klasutis every day. You just, I can't begin to imagine the pain that they endure because of this hatefulness. But let's bring in two people who also understand that pain, the parents of Seth Rich, Mary and Joel. And Mary, a mother losing her son, it's unimaginable to me as a dad. But then to not be able to mourn him in peace seems like you're robbed even of something that every parent needs. Talk about the hell that you've gone through.
I call it torture in a science fiction book, because you can't understand why people are saying this. It's on our son, it was absolutely ridiculous. And they ripped the soul away from him. And we're going to make sure they're not going to. But even today, we still have things torture us.
Yeah, every day. And Joel, the thing about the Klasutis family, that, they're not public figures. They didn't sign up for this. They didn't sign up for the tragedy. TJ didn't sign up for the tragedy, and certainly didn't sign up for the hatefulness. And it seems that it must be almost impossible for you to comprehend as a dad that you're not even allowed to mourn your son's death in peace.
We've been able to talk with TJ, and there is a commonality that we've had with the way these stories with no truth, no facts, just come back to haunt you. And hopefully the major stuff about Seth, all the lies, will disappear, but his name will still be tied to conspiracies for a long, long time.
We'll always have to live with them.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us something about Seth? It struck me that in Lori's case, here was a young woman who was working at a bank and decided she wanted to get engaged in public service. She wanted to make a difference. And for that, her family is still paying the price because she just wanted to participate in public service. You could say the same thing about Seth, a very ideological young man. Tell us about Seth.
When Seth was just in high school, he was working on the Ben Nelson Senate campaign when he was just a junior in high school. But he had liked politics. He watched CNN, or not CNN, C-SPAN for fun, and he knew all the senators, all the congressmen. Later on, he would be able to tell you which district everyone was in, that it was just something that he loved being part of. He studied political science at Creighton University, and then as soon as he got out of school, he moved to Washington, D.C., and worked first for a polling company, and then got like a dream job of working for the DNC, where he was able to be part of it and part of helping to make sure that everyone could vote. Voting was extremely important to him.
Making a difference in the world to help people was his number one thing, no matter where he was at. When he was in high school, he jumped in on things to help people, and he wanted to make sure everybody, didn't matter what your color was, everybody got help, and he could make a difference to help those people. And I've often said to whoever murdered our son, you murdered the wrong person, because you obviously have a problem, and he's the one that could have and would have solved it.
After he died, what we
Go ahead, Joel.
After he died and all these stories came out, we kept our one mission was to just follow the truth, whatever the truth is, are what we're going to believe and is what really happened.
Yeah, I was just going to say, everyone I've talked to in the last few years have said nothing but good things about Seth, that he was bright and charismatic and just such an impressive young man. Mary, if you can speak to it, just that you sort of referenced it a little bit earlier, that you're still sort of tortured by this conspiracy theory to this day. I think about even the Sandy Hook families, because of some conspiracy theorists making up lies about them, that they've had to suffer even further, that they've had to move and they've had to go into hiding and all these things. What has it been like for you as you try to mourn the death of your wonderful son, to have this additional pain brought upon you?
Well, there's no mourning like mourning. There's scared to death. I watch out the window all the time. I watch our monitors 360 all the time. I watch around me and my family all the time. And if anybody is coming at me at the wrong angle, has stood there too long, I watch their eyes, I watch every movement, because the torture is still there, and those people that wanted to become famous off my lies of my son, that still hasn't gone away. And I'm waiting for the hell to hit every day.
It is 1 minute past the top of the hour, and we are speaking with Joel and Mary Rich, the parents of Seth Rich, about the impact conspiracy theories have, especially on them, in light of how their son's murder was covered and the narrative created around it. We're going to continue the conversation. Just let you know, we're also following breaking news about Queen Elizabeth II, apparently gravely ill, and Steve Bannon due in court in the next half hour or so. We'll be covering that live as well. But we continue now with Joel and Mary Rich, and Mike Barnicle has the next question.
Mrs. Rich, you've lived a double nightmare, you and your husband, for all these years. The nightmare of losing your son, the nightmare of being surrounded by conspiracy theorists and having your lives put in peril because of their conspiracies, including that of Steve Bannon, who is being indicted today in New York City. But my question to you is, today, no one has yet been arrested for the murder of your son. Today, there is a retired District of Columbia police officer who played a part in developing his conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah.
And do you follow an open murder case is an open murder case? It remains open until there is a solution, until someone has been caught and arrested for it. Do you follow up with the D.C. Police Department at all on this?
Oh, yes. I made a promise to my son. I laid my hand on the casket and I promised him I will find his murderers before I die. And he's keeping me to that. But we talk with I want to call his name, but I'm not going to. We speak often. We want to make sure the tasks are being done and handled. And in fact, I was just getting ready to call him again. we're not going to let up on finding our son's murderers. And in fact, people don't understand that the day this opened up, the day all this happened, was the day it made it almost impossible to try to find my son's murderers. So this 6 years has just screwed up everything for trying to find the main course, which is my son's murderers.
Joel and Mary Rich, we see how so very proud you are of your son Seth, who was living his dream of service and wanted to help people. And that is what people should know about him. Thank you so much for joining us and talking about the unbelievably horrific, torturous impact of conspiracy theories promulgated by certain outlets that will not be mentioned right now.